Alright guys, so I got a 2018 Honda Civic alternator intermittently cuts off power. So what I did was I checked the power on the alternator and got my guy hooked up over here. So right now we got 1262 volts without engine running, and it gave me 14, 13, and then it dropped to like 11 all of a sudden. And just to show you guys, and then I'll check it afterwards. And right now it's giving me good, but all of a sudden, bam, it drops. And then the customer got stuck at one time, and then it jump started and it ran good. But right now it's giving us good voltage, and little by little it just drops and it dies out. Anyway guys, so we're gonna replace the alternator, which is right here, and I'm gonna show you guys the new alternator we got. So here's the new alternator. So this guy has a big bolt here and one bolt going right through here, and it has a connector. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do this without disconnecting your battery. You don't lose any power. All right, so you can see how down it's dropping. And the part number on this guy is, there you go, you guys can see everything right there. It comes in this box. And this is, just to let you guys know, make sure you get the correct alternator. This is 2.0. So that's what we're doing. We're going to change this alternator. First thing you want to do is you want to disconnect your battery, but the customer doesn't have any radio card. I don't want to lose the memory or anything like that, so I'm not going to disconnect the battery. If you want to do it. Just disconnect the negative or positive, and just leave it to the side. What I like to do is, let's disconnect this guy to start off right here, and you don't want to yank any of the cables or anything, so just squeeze this and this guy comes off. So what I want to do is I want to take this out of as well, and I'm going to put tape around it so we don't lose any we don't ground this, short circuit this to anything. But anyways, we're gonna remove that number 10, and then we got an AC compressor connector all the way on there, so make sure you disconnect that. And we'll take off this 10. The whole harness should just come up and lift out, and then we'll just remove this belt. We'll take this off, and then we'll work a little bit into the bottom. And we're gonna have to remove that tensioner. Now you got the Allen going right through the center because okay, it's gonna be a hectic jog, but we're gonna be able to do it. Anyways, let's get this thing. We're gonna let it cool. I'm gonna let it cool off first. Okay, that's the first thing I want to do. Let it cool off. So while it's cooling off, we could just do little things. Let's take off. Okay, I can't even get that off. I'm gonna have to use my ratchet, and I'll get. So this is a 10 millimeter here. Let's disconnect this guy. Not disconnect. Let's remove this little guy. And let's put this to the side. Put this baby right. Next, I'm going to use this long fork, and I am going to remove these little clips down here. You can squeeze them from the back and push them out, or just force them out of there. Okay, just like that. That will come off. So all we need to do is really take off this little guy and disconnect the AC compressor connector from down there. And then we will start taking off the belt. So when I got the 17 millimeter, we're gonna put it on right there on the tensioner, and let's see which way we gotta go. Okay, there you go. You see that? It loosens just like that, and we will remove the belt just like that. So I went further to get this guy off, but I got it. Did not like that, but I got it off. And now, what is the trip matter now? Come on. Whoa. What the hell? And my wrench is just stuck there.
for no reason. Okay, so at least we got the belt off. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is, let's take our drill here. Just the lighting, I'm not liking the lighting. Everything's a plastic on this car. So, it's a number 12. So what we're gonna do is, number 12 millimeter socket. Make sure this doesn't touch over here either. So that's a dangerous one. You see these, how close this is? Woo, that's a dangerous one. That's gonna short circuit everything. So we're gonna go get a shorter socket. Okay, so if you got radio codes, you should just disconnect your battery instead of doing all this crazy stuff. But anyways, it is what it is. A lot of people don't want to lose the memory, okay? And that was the issue with this little car. So we got the 12 out. So I want to show you guys what I used here. So there's our 12. So what we use is the 1/4 inch short socket and a 1/4 inch dry ratchet here. That's what we used. And now, since everything is loose, I even got the connector loose for the AC compressor. So make sure you take that. Just squeeze this. If it doesn't come out, you're gonna need a pick, and you can fish it off right from this side over here, right from down here. And it was hot, so I put a rag all around here and got it off. So I got my tape ready here. So check this out. Our harness and everything should just get out of the way, and make sure this doesn't touch anything. So I'm gonna pull a whole bunch of tape on this guy. And it is, the rubber can fall off, so try to get it around the harness itself, okay? There you go. And we can also disconnect the solenoid here. Make sure you put it all back in. Make sure you disconnect the solenoid, you don't break it. And this guy will just come off fairly and easily. And now we should be able to put this whole harness to the side and start working on things. Anyways, we need to get more tools. We're gonna take off the 14 and Allen key down there. So next, what we need to do is we need to take off that tensioner. Tensioner has a number 8 Allen right there in the middle. Notice, guys, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a little tight spot. So let me just turn this because I'm not getting a good grip on it. And also, it has a number 12 in the bottom of this tensioner. That one we're gonna have to fish out, so you guys in the camera can't even see that one at all, and I can't even get my tool on this one. And it should go on. I might have to put my other hand in there. There you go, I caught it. It's right there. So it's right there. Right there. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn this counterclockwise. It's not gonna be an easy bolt to take off, but there you go, a few turns. And after that, I should be able to do it by hand. And then I'll reach down and get the bottom one out as well. So right now, let's take this guy off and work some magic right from this spot right here. Okay, so I've been working on this for a while, trying to get this bolt off. So you might have to wiggle this thing around to get this bolt out. And once after a whole bunch of turns, you should be able to take this guy off. Let's put it somewhere safe. We're gonna reuse this. And in the bottom, there's a 12. If you could jack up the car, you could probably get it from the bottom, but I should be able to fish everything out from right here. That bolt, we're not gonna get the alternator bolt unless we get the whole complete tension out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna get the 12, so get a gear wrench and do that. Okay, so I got me a deep socket 12 all the way down there. I was trying to use this wrench, but no leverage. So I just wanna break it loose, and then I should be able to take it off by hand. There you go. So this is what I've used down there. And if you can get this guy in there perfectly from right here. But this fits as well, but only thing is, it's really crappy amount of room in there. But that's what it is. Or you're gonna have to fish it from the bottom, from the wheel wall. You're gonna take out the well from the bottom. But I'm gonna get this bolt out of here just about very soon. So I put my arm right through here. Let me get this light. I put my arm right through over here and I grabbed the bolt. Got me the 12 millimeter bolt out. And let's push this belt out of the way. Let's see if this stupid tensioner that they put in here comes out just like that. So if you guys get a rattling sound, usually these little guys, they break and you'll have that. But you can simply just change this or the whole thing. Okay, once you get the tensioner out, you should be able to, if I can get my light down here, you should be able to reach right down there, right in the center right now. Come on. This is one of the worst alternator. Easy, not so bad, but one of the worst ones right there. And then we got a 14 over here. So I'm gonna get the bottom one out. I'm gonna use just a deep socket with extension. Okay, so the next step to get the bottom bolt off, I got me this little setup here. If I can see down there. Okay, I might have to go shorter. Extension has to be a little shorter. Okay, so the car is not cooling off down anyway. All these pipes are just cooling pipes. And I got me an extension here, one inch and a quarter, and a 14 millimeter fits on it perfect. And there it goes. Got this baby loose, and I'm gonna take off the top one right over here later. But first, I'm gonna get the one in the bottom completely out. So it's loose. I'm gonna turn it by hand, use my socket, and take it off. Okay, so I got my arm in here, and I'm simply taking this off with my hand, and I did a little bit turns with my socket. So don't mix up your bolts. There's one of the bolts, and now we need to get the top bolt out of here. Okay, here it is. So let's get this guy off next. Okay, once it's loose, you should be able to turn this baby by hand. Alternator is not gonna fall down, so we're gonna have to use a pry bar here because it's compressed in over here. So I'm gonna use a pry bar, but be careful with this solenoid here, and be careful with the pipes and everything. And I wanna just try to go against the back housing of this little guy of the block, and let's push this alternator forward. Make sure nothing in the front gets damaged. And this is the only way. And we got almost like half a more inch of a clearance. Okay, there you go. It's moving. Okay, let's go behind against the bracket. I'm gonna go up against the bracket here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to wiggle woggle, so be careful on both sides. Be careful if there's any wiring and down there. Just the bracket is fine, and just make sure there's no sensors or anything like that. And it's loose and hot, and there's our alternator. It comes right out. Let's put this to the side. Okay, time to get a new alternator, but make sure everything is nice and clean, and we're gonna put in a new alternator immediately. So one thing you do want to do is you want to take your old alternator, make sure you don't drop it from here. We're gonna take off the shieldings, the shield from the back, and we're gonna get our number 10 millimeter socket, which is sitting all the way back here. That's 1, 2, and 3. So what we want to do here is, so you see this connector, and this is where the connector goes, so shield goes same direction. Important, it's important, so you don't get that heat from the catalytic converter. So 1, 2, protects the alternator from the heat from the converter there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure if your alternator is painted, make sure you file, clean up, make it nice and clean. So this thing should be ready to just go in nice and simple. So let's just hold it in the direction it's gonna go. It's nice and cold compared to the other one. And this baby should be able to just fit right in, just like that. If it doesn't fit in, you have to put this bolt right through it while the alternator's out. Bang, bang, bang. The little compressed cup there. It should. Okay, to put that center bolt, you could put the 17 millimeter wrench. You see this wrench right there? I got it on the tensioner. You can move it around and capture the bolt right there, just like that. Move it around, and once you catch the threads, you're all set. Okay, that's what I did here. Okay, just to give you guys an idea, once you get that center bolt right there on the tensioner, do that first. Snug it all the way. Leave it tiny bit loose. Then grab your 12 millimeter from right down here. You should be able to whoop, get it right in there, right from down here. So as before, I got them both in there. Let me just give you a small little glimpse of that. If anything is possible to see down here. Anyway, they're both down there. They both are in. You just gotta snug them. So again, from right over here, I'm a right-handed, but my left hand worked really well right from over here, and I was able to just go in there, get it. Anyway, that's what it is. And now I'm gonna put the belt on, tighten them, put the belt on, and then we'll put the connectors on together. Okay, so there you have it, and belt is on. I did have to remove this cover here. It had two clips, so we can access down here. So now, do not forget to put things back together, especially these connectors. Okay, so let's start off. Connect the solenoid, very important. Connect it. Next step here, let's remove this stinking tape. Hold on to it, do not let it go. Okay, but forgot one thing. There's your bolt is in here, so let's get that off. This bolt comes off, and we will get that from the bottom or use the old one. But meanwhile, we're gonna use the old one. That was stupid of me. Anyways, take this little guy, goes right on. Take your 12 millimeter, got that on. So what we want to do next is same process. Okay, we're gonna use the short 12 millimeter. The reason why we're using short, because the long one will go touch here and short circuit, spark occur. Maybe this pipe is gonna rip itself, and ratchet. So that's how easy it was. Okay, so the camera didn't record, so make sure you put this connector in. Make sure you put this in, tighten it with the 12 millimeter, okay? And put the 12 millimeter bolt, put this connector in. Number 10 that we took off over here. So this guy's gotta come around. I got it the wrong way. There you go. Make sure you put the AC connector and this little connector down there. Other than that, you're not gonna have AC. You'll have a check engine if you leave this. And alternator is not gonna work if you don't put this 1-pin connector in. Anyways, let me finish out the job and then we'll test it. Okay, so I'm done changing the alternator, and as you can see, the voltage, usually these cars, the voltage doesn't go too high. So if you check your alternator on these newer cars, you're gonna get something like that. It will go to 14, 13, and then it will try to stabilize that third. This is the number you're gonna get. Okay, so that's it. That's the voltage that we're getting on this Honda Civic. And I had told the customer originally just change your battery because she had a bad start. It was a really weak start, but then she had a warranty. So we did the work as we wanted to, but I did notice her alternator dropped down to 11, which was not good. Anyways, this is the voltage we're getting before and after, and we got a brand new alternator. So if you're thinking that you're gonna get better voltage than that, like all the other cars, the older models, I usually look for 13 point, above 13 is good. Anything below 13 is not good, but this is, the computer controls it and it keeps his voltage just stable. Anyways, that's what we got.